Today is Thursday, February 12, 2026. Hopefully by now you've seen the great news. The drawdown in Minneapolis and in Minnesota by ICE is official. Tom Homan announcing it a little while ago. He said the Trump administration will end the immigration crackdown in Minnesota and wind down the enforcement surge in the state. Operation Metro Surge is ending, Homan said Thursday. Quote, in the next week, we are going to deploy those officers here on detail back to their home stations or other areas of the country where they are needed. Said they've fulfilled the Trump administration's goals and arrested more than 4,000 in the state over this terrible, terrible time where they have murdered people on the street in cold blood in front of everyone. This is a great thing about dealing with Trump. It's something that the Europeans figured out over Greenland. It's something that Mark Carney has figured out, the Prime Minister of Canada, repeatedly. And that is if you stick to your, I was going to say stick to your guns, but if you hold strong against Trump, he will just tire and leave. He will quit. He will walk away without achieving anything that he wanted to achieve. He'll just declare victory and withdraw. The eternal lesson that Vietnam taught Americans in the 60s and 70s. Declare victory and withdraw. It's what the Soviets did. It's what Trump does all the time. Because he doesn't win, right? He just says he wins and leaves. It can be frustrating because you're sick of him just all the time declaring that he's winning. But more and more we are seeing, we're just hoping and praying that he does that. Just, dude, take the W if you want. Just say you won, just leave. Just get the hell out. That's all we want. We just want our lives back. That's what people want. And that's what's happening in Minnesota. Many of us were hopeful that this could actually happen once Tom Homan was put in charge of it and Greg Bovino was, summarily dismissed. He was just a jackass. He was a murderous thug, a liar. Tom Homan, I'm not going to say the guy is awesome. He's not. He's terrible. Under Obama, he was effective at his job, which was deporting criminals. So he set the single-year record for deportations, removals from the U.S. under Obama. But 91% of those people he deported had criminal convictions. That's what people elected Trump to do, is take all the criminals out, deport the criminals, deport the bad guys. That's not at all what Trump has done. By most statistics, roughly at best 24% of removals under Trump have had any kind of criminal record. That's a far cry from 91% under Tom Homan under Obama. So Homan just does what he's told to do. And if that's accepting a $50,000 bag of cash as a bribe, then he's going to do it. I'd still love to know what happened there. I guess we never will. But he was sent up to Minnesota to stop the bleeding, to wind things down, and it hasn't taken long, and they're just winding it down and saying they did their job. They had up to 3,000 or 4,000 troops up there, ICE people up there originally. They were initially sent to Minnesota to find, quote, criminal illegal aliens hurting Americans. And ICE in all their victorious operations up there arrested dozens of people, dozens with criminal records. That was largely around the fraud by the Somalis, right? At least 24 people. Surely that's worth stationing 3,000 or 4,000 ICE thugs for months on end in the bitter cold in Minnesota and murdering people in the streets and tearing families apart, surely that's worth arresting a couple dozen Somalis implicated in financial fraud. This works. This model works. This protest model works. The Olympians speaking out, they haven't even been over there for a week yet. Opening ceremonies were a week from tomorrow. And just day after day, whether it's not that the athletes are standing up there making their comments day after day, but you see them day after day because the right and the left and the entire world keeps replaying them. And it's trying to show that American athletes are not on board with Trump's America. It's making Trump and especially J.D. Vance look really bad in front of the whole world. And they know this. It doesn't bother them, but they know that that eventually trickles down. And you have normal Americans who are just trying to watch the Olympics, whether it's during the day in real time or during at night on some replays. And they can't get away from the coverage of these American athletes that they were just cheering for, and they just won their gold medal and they're American heroes. Maybe there's a Wheaties box somewhere in this life or the next for them to be on. Saying that what's going on in Minnesota is horrible. And I hate to point it out, but for many of these people watching the Olympics, many Americans watching the Olympics, this is the first they're getting of that side of the story. All they ever see is the Trump side, the Kristi Noem side, the Bavino side, the lies. These people are terrorists, they're insurrectionists, they're attacking troops. But then what will happen? They will see these athletes saying, I'm not okay with any of this, what's going on in Minnesota, and my thoughts and prayers are with them, and we're standing with them. We're standing with Minneapolis, or I'm from Minnesota. I'm a winter athlete. It's not uncommon to be a winter athlete for Minnesota. And what will they do? They might go out and take a look at it because they have this cognitive dissonance, which if any, this is the great frustration of all of us that see everything Trump's doing is, why don't these people who blindly support him and blindly believe that these are insurrectionists and terrorists doing all of these terrible things in Minnesota, all these protests, trying to run over ICE agents in their cars, while the ICE agent who actually ran into them in their car, the woman, the Montessori worker who got shot 5 times and miraculously survived, and then the ICE thug who did it, while she's handcuffed in her hospital bed, he's trying to roll her out of there. He takes a selfie with him and her, like a trophy, like a deer he just killed, and sends it to all his buddies. And they're all congratulating him on his nice shots. So disgusting, all of this. And she lived, right? That in itself should just end the entire operation in any normally functioning society. But it doesn't here. What does do it here is weeks and months of protests in the street, and I think the Olympics over the last week has a lot to do with it. And it's costing Trump huge support because you have everyday Americans seeing that side of the story for the very first time, as shocking as it is, wondering what these athletes, what are these athletes, communists? What are they? What are they talking about? They might go out and try to find out what they're talking about. They might inform themselves. It's all I do with people is say, don't take my word for it. Don't listen to me. Don't even waste your time with me. Just go inform yourselves. I'm being honest. I'm painting a picture here of what's actually happening. You can believe me, but I wish you would just inform yourselves all the time. Those people who might come across my video for the first time and not know who I am and think I'm a radical leftist who hates America. I'm not. I just hate Trump, and I hate what he's doing to the country. I hate liars. And yes, that's a lot of politicians, but the extent to which Trump and all of his people do it, and they stand up there in the face of all the evidence that every American can go out and see for themselves if they would only look. If they would just look for it, they would see that I'm not lying, that so many of us are not lying. Rachel Maddow is not lying. Yeah, she's on the left. She's always been on the left. She's not lying. These people are super informed, super smart, super prepared. This is all happening. We are not making it up. So this is great news, and I'm super excited about it. And reason for celebration today for Minnesota, and more importantly, that peaceful protest and peaceful speaking out, if you just keep doing it, carrying a sign or walking in one protest one time, the first time, no, Trump's not going to undo everything he's done after that one time. But these sustained protests, day after day, week after week, month after month, and now seeing it at the Olympics, it's just having a huge impact, and it is working, and it will continue to work. So great news there. Okay, if you would give this a like and subscribe, and keep watching if you're interested in this. If I somehow bring you a perspective that you haven't seen before, or bring you some peace and calm and rational tranquility, that's what I'm trying to do. Inform yourselves. People on the right, I implore you, I beg you, inform yourself. Leave your nasty comment here. That's fine if it makes you feel better. But once you're done typing that out, go ahead and get out there and see what's really going on in the world. It would do us all a world of good. Okay, that's it. We'll talk to you all later.